Hi friends, let's have a discussion on functions. In this particular discussion, we'll cover the basic concept of slopes and inequalities. Now, any linear equation actually can be represented as a straight line in a two-dimensional graph. Now, let us see and look at a particular linear equation in one variable like x equal to 2. This tells me the value of x will be 2 irrespective of the value of y. Now, look at this two-dimensional plane. This is called the xy plane. And this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Y-axis and x-axis. Now, if x equal to 2 will be represented in this xy plane, how would it look like? Regardless of the value of y, the value of x will be 2. Now, if you look at the value here, it will be x equal to 2, y equal to 2. Here, x equal to 2, y equal to 0. X equal to, here, what will be the value? If we are looking at the value at this point, it will be x equal to 2, y equal to minus 2. This whole line represents the equation x equal to 2. Okay. Now this is called the x-axis. This is called the y-axis. It might not be absolutely to scale, but I hope you understood the concept of representing a linear equation as a graph. Now, let us look at another equation. This is x plus y equal to 1. X plus y equal to 1. Now, how do we go about plotting this graph? Take the value of x to be 1 and then the value of y will be 0. And that value will be represented like this. Now, if the value of y is 1 and the value of x, then the value of x becomes 0. If the value of y is 1, x becomes 0. And if the value of x is 0.5 and this is 0.5, you will get the value here. Now, you join these lines and this will be the line which is x plus y equal to 1. X plus y equal to 1. Every point in this line will have x value and y value added to get 1. Added to get 1. This is what is called basically representing a linear equation in two variables in an xy plane. Linear equation in two variables in an xy plane. You basically put one value to 0 and find out what the value of the other variable will be and vice versa, so that you will get 2 points and any line will be extended with those 2 points to get the full spectrum of that line. Okay. Now, the standard format for understanding what is the slope is that you should represent the line that you have drawn as y equal to mx plus c. Y equal to mx plus c. Here y value and here m is the coefficient of x value. Now let us represent this in this format. What will you get? Y equal to minus x plus 1. Minus x plus 1. And here the slope of this line will be m, and if you look at this particular format, the value of m will be minus 1. Therefore, the slope of this particular line is minus 1. Okay, understand the slope. If it is this way, it is negative, and the slope, if it is this way, it is positive. So, in this particular case, the value of slope is minus 1. Okay. Now, whenever you get a linear equation in two variables, you convert that into this format. Y equal to mx plus c, and the value of m will be what the value of the slope of that line will be. Now, this is as far as equality is concerned. Now, let us go into inequalities. Inequalities. Now, if instead of this x plus y equal to 1, if the equation was x plus y greater than 1, x plus y greater than 1. Now what do? You will still draw the line x plus y equal to 1. Now there are two parts to this line. This is part 1 and this is part 2. On one side will be those values that satisfy this inequality. On the other side will be the values that will not satisfy this inequality. Okay. Now which is the side that satisfies this inequality? And that is what we need to see. Let us take this point. This is 0, 2. This point is 0, 2. I would represent that here as 0 plus 2. And you will get the value 2 which is greater than 1. So I understand that all values to this side of the line will be true for this inequality, and all values to this side of the line will not be true of this inequality. So whenever you get two linear equations or even one linear equation and then you have to make an inequality out of it, you basically have to plot that line and look at the area on which side of that particular line does this inequality get satisfied, and that is how you represent inequalities in case of linear equations. You can plot any kind of equation in an xy plane and then you have the boundary conditions. You look at the boundary conditions and you divide this particular graph into 2, 3 or 4 different areas and see which of the areas where the inequality stands, and that is the solution for that given inequality. This is how you solve inequality. So we are looking at slopes and inequalities. We are looking at slope of only a straight line, which is necessarily an equation in two variables maximum, and you have to convert this into this format, y equal to mx plus c, and the value of m will be the slope of this particular line. Now in case of inequality, you have to draw the line and see on which side of the line are the set of values that satisfy this inequality. This in short is what represents inequalities as a part of functions. Now let us look at solving these inequalities algebraically for a change in format. Now let us see what is the difference. Now if I say x equal to 3, I know that the value for x is one single value which is equal to 3. Now if I say x plus 3 equal to 0, I know from this equation the single value for x that satisfies this condition is x equal to minus 3. Now let us see what is this. X plus 3 greater than or equal to 0. X plus 3 greater than or equal to 0. Which all values of x will satisfy this inequality? Which all values of x will satisfy this inequality? Now let us see how to go about it. I will subtract 3 from this side. So it is x plus 3 minus 3 greater than or equal to 0 minus 3. And 3 and 3 get cancelled. What I get is x greater than or equal to minus 3. Any value that is greater than or equal to minus 3 will basically satisfy this inequality. Here this is not only inequality, it is also equality combined to it. It is greater than or equal to. So any value of x which is greater than or equal to minus 3 will be the set of values that will satisfy this equation, and the set of values that will satisfy this inequality is what is called the domain of x. It is called the domain of x. What is the domain of x? The values of x that will necessarily satisfy the given inequality is what is called the domain of x. Okay. Now let us move slightly into the higher realm of things. Now let us look at this particular inequality. Okay. It says x plus 2 less than or equal to 3x plus 8. X plus 2 less than or equal to 3x plus 8. Now we will rearrange the values. 8 comes here, so it becomes 2 minus 8 less than or equal to 3x minus x. So what is this? Minus 6 less than or equal to 2x, and minus 3 less than or equal to x. What does this mean? This means the domain of x is x greater than or equal to minus 3. See the domain change, see the sign change here. It says minus 3 less than or equal to x. So any value of x which is greater than minus 3, greater than or equal to minus 3 is what will satisfy the given condition, and that is what is written as x greater than or equal to minus 3. So you understand that when you change the sides of the variable, you need to also change the sign of the inequality. That is why this particular example was given there to demonstrate that thing only. Now we go a little advanced. Let's see a little more advanced thing. See, what is the domain for this? 2 less than x minus 8 by 2 less than 3. 2 less than x minus 8 less than x minus 8 by 2 less than 3. Now how do we go about it? First I eliminate this 2. For that I need to multiply all the terms by 2. So that will be 4 less than x minus 8 less than 6. Now in order to get me to x, I need to add 8 here. So I get 12 less than x less than 14. So this is the domain of x. Any value of x that lies between 12 and 14, excluding those values, is what is called the domain of x. For this inequality to be true, x should have values between 12 and 14 and not including 12 and 14. This is exactly what the domain of x looks like. Now, what we learned in this particular session? We learned that the inequalities or equalities, whatever they may be, they can be represented as functions in an xy plane. And we also understood how to find out the slope of a straight line given in the xy plane. We also looked at algebraic methods to solve the inequality, to find out the domain of the variable, that satisfies a given inequality. I hope you understood what this inequality is all about. Inequalities is a fascinating world. Now if you got interested in different kinds of inequalities, I would like you, or exhort you even, to explore different facets of inequalities. Mathematically or even application wise, inequalities play a big role in our lives. So make sure that you explore in detail the wonderful world of inequalities. Thank you.